Welcome to a day in the life living and working on a sailboat.
It wasn't too long ago that we were dreaming of full-time travel ourselves, and maybe some of you can relate.
It was the height of the pandemic, the spread of the coronavirus, and we really started to ask ourselves what we wanted out of life.
With no sailing experience before, we bought a sailboat 2 years ago. And now, this life is not easy, but it is the most fulfilling thing we've ever done.
Living and working on a boat has never been easier with the rise of Starlink, and by the end of this video, you're gonna see what it's really like to live and work from a sailboat. Good morning. It is a lovely morning in Puerto Rico, and we are getting ready to sail off of anchor, and we are headed 60 miles to Vieques, which is a little Caribbean island off of Puerto Rico's east coast, and we are continuing to make our way east and then ultimately south to get to Grenada for hurricane season. So we've got a long day ahead. We're gonna chat with you more about what it's like living and working on a sailboat. All right, we're going up.
Whoa, getting some wind.
Boys and girls, we are sailing, and it feels so good to say that again. Finally, have some nice weather, nice sea stay, great wind.
So it is lunchtime, and there's no better way when you're moving than to have leftovers for lunch. You know, what's so funny is we actually talked about when we first got the boat, removing this microwave, and I can't say that I love using a microwave all the time, but I can't imagine not having it because it's just so easy. We've got some amazingly hot ghost pepper cheese that we got in Puerto Rico, and it has got my mouth on fire right now. But you know, as we talk about living and working from a boat, you have to imagine the boat being kind of like a one-bedroom or studio apartment in a downtown high-rise where you not only live, sleep, eat, but work in as well. The only difference is that that downtown apartment gets to move to all these beautiful locations, and whenever you're not living, sleeping, eating, and working, you are out in the backyard playing. If you've been following us along for a while now, you know I've talked about Starlink and how well it works. In fact, if you're wanting to work remotely, Starlink is your best friend. It's $150 a month. And then if you toggle over, like we are currently, as we speak right now, because we've now left land and we're in the middle of a passage, it's $2 a gig. And so with our work schedule, we budget about $200, maybe $225 a month. Some months that's much higher. Other months we never even toggle over at all, right? So it just kind of works out. But the beauty of Starlink is the option to toggle over. You can go into your account on the app and you can literally hit the toggle button. You have to be very careful to make sure to toggle back whenever you're done, because it will continue to rack up the $2 a gigs. And unfortunately, we've had a friend that has forgotten to do that. And next thing you know, they received a $1,000 or $1,500 bill on accident, which would certainly not be good for anyone. But nevertheless, if you just look at the Starlink map, you'll see that there is blue, light blue, and black. And anything that is blue, dark blue, light blue, doesn't matter, is where you have Starlink access, and it can be unlimited. The minute that you are in black, that's when you're supposed to toggle over, and it does take about 15 minutes to toggle over. So as long as you toggle over in time, you're perfectly fine. So we haven't been fishing a lot on this trip from the DR to Puerto Rico because the sea has been littered with sawgrass and floating seaweed. I'm still seeing a little bit here and there as we pass by it now, but it's a lot less than what we have seen. So I'm gonna put the lures in and see if we can't catch something here while we're under sail. It'd be nice to pick up a nice mahi-mahi, or as they call it in this part of the world, dorado. So you know, the biggest problem with working from the boat is that not only do you have a schedule to upkeep with work, but you also have a schedule with Mother Nature. And what I mean by that is you have to be able to juggle the two, your work schedule, or if you have any Zoom calls or anything like that, with your schedule of making passages or traveling.
Days like today make it super easy to get work done. The sea state's pretty calm. We're not bouncing around all over the place, but sometimes It's really hard to get work done when we're under passage. Sometimes I get tired and just want to sleep. So if you watched our passage video, I was struggling with some major motion fatigue. Just like the ocean makes me sleepy. Any other sailors out there just get so sleepy when you're on the ocean? I would love to hear about it in the comments. So today though, I am able to get some work done. I'm working on a couple things for our flotilla that is happening in November. It's our group sailing event, Cruise with the Cruise. So that is coming up in November the 16th, the 23rd. I'll also put the link in the description for you. It's gonna be a great time in the Grenadines, sailing around the islands with other adventure-loving people, and we are so excited to host that event.
In our time of cruising, we've met all kinds of people working remote. Everything from veterinarian to multiple professors and online teachers, sales to coders, engineers. The list goes on, and it's pretty remarkable. It's never been easier to work from your boat than now. And if you guys are ever looking for a reason to make this transition, I guarantee you, if you don't have a job that is currently remote, there is a remote job out there for you that you can transition to. And the beauty of this is that sailing definitely is not any more expensive than living on land. It's just a different budget. And what I mean by that is you get hit with the maintenance of the big haul outs, right? Or something all at once. Because obviously you don't do a bottom job every single year, but you do a bottom job every 2 to 3 years, and therefore you've got to expect that big 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, whatever the case may be, is gonna hit at some point in time, and you've gotta be ready. In fact, I have a budget that I've been using since before we bought the boat, and I've been updating it ever since, and I decided to go ahead and share that with all of our viewers. So if you want a free boat budget, one that will get you started, use the QR code here, and it'll take you to the Excel. We're gonna do an entire video on this at one point in time. It's on our list of videos to do, but I wanna make sure that it's the best boat budget video on YouTube. Are you having fun? This girl is just...
I love you.
She is just amazing. Like, guys, I'm obviously biased. I think she's the best dog, as I'm assuming you think your dog's the best dog as well. But
She really is the best.
I will tell you this. I actually can't imagine living this life without her on the boat. It's just so cool to experience her going to all these different islands and beaches and running around, chasing her frisbee, and just like, look, she's just enjoying the breeze right now. Like, she has no worry in the world, and it's so amazing. As we're approaching our destination, we want to share some of the revenue streams that we've created. And later in this video, we're going to also share some ideas of how you guys could actually live this lifestyle and work remote here on a boat.
So of course we have a YouTube channel and we are monetized. We also do affiliate marketing where we promote only brands that we care about. We have an Amazon storefront and do pretty good on that. Obviously we have some merch. You guys have seen these little ads come up for these necklaces that I created. It's my waterproof jewelry that I absolutely love, and that is available at shoptheadventurecruise.com. We have a Patreon account. We have created group sailing events, our flotillas, Cruise with the Cruise that you guys have heard about.
And upcoming this spring will be Adventure with the Cruise,
Yes.
which will be land-based with some sailing adventures.
Yes.
Basically, we've looked at this as a startup business from the beginning, and we've been just kind of clawing our way to make this sustainable. And we've, as they say in startups, pivoted a few times, but we are figuring out different revenue streams. One of our biggest revenue streams is our Airbnb. We have a property in Florida that's on Airbnb, and it does really well for us. And that's one of the things that we also highly recommend to anyone that's coming to or wants to come to the cruising lifestyle. Do not sell it all before you are into this life for at least 2 years.
Yes.
I think that is like the biggest thing that I could give you advice-wise. Do not sell it all, buy a boat, and go sail into the sunset. It's hard. But what this lifestyle does provide you is the freedom to go and do as you please. And for us, it's seeing God's beautiful world. That's what we are striving for. But at the same time, when you're on a boat, it's not like walking into your bedroom in a house. You lock the front door and you feel safe. And not that you don't feel safe on a boat, but your brain is always on. When you hear something that doesn't sound just right, a crack or a creak or anything throughout the middle of the night, you're always on because you're worried about your anchor dragging, or you're worried about the boats around you, or whatever the case may be. So there's ups and downs, and it's the highest of highs and lowest of lows, because when things break, they all break. When things are good, well, it doesn't get any better.
Good morning. Dixie, are you ready to go to the beach?
Good morning. We are in what I call Viks, but Emily has pronounced it as Vieques. So you guys can let me know in the comments below, what is the actual pronunciation of this island? But nevertheless, we've got a long day ahead of us. We are gonna go to the beach, get a little workout in. We are buddy boating with our friends Craig and Katie on Supernova, and we're excited to have them on this video with us and talk a little bit more about working from a boat. You ready to go to the beach? It is time to not only take Dixie to the beach, but to get our blood flowing, because that's what we like to do first thing in the morning. And we have a full day of work, one in which that I'm not quite looking forward to. I'm not in the mood this morning already. I can already feel it, but maybe get the blood going, get a little bit of coffee, a little bit of breakfast, and I'm sure that I'll have a different perspective.
You ready? You can go.
Keep coming, keep coming.
I've never been a jump out of bed and work out in the morning kind of person, but I'm trying so hard to be, because what I've realized is when I get in the groove of working, it's so hard to pull myself away when I'm in a groove to go exercise. So what we're realizing is if we can just get a little bit in the morning, it just sets the day up for just to be so much better in all areas. It feels good to get movement in the morning. And yeah, we realized, I talked about this when we were at Marina Puerto Bahia, that we don't get nearly the amount of exercise that I expected we would when we live on a boat. So we're trying super hard to really seek it out more. I love being anchored at beautiful anchorages like this when there's a beach, because it's easy to just take the dinghy, get the workout in, and get on with your day. What'd you find?
Look at this. Look at this sea glass. Really nice pieces of sea glass, huh?
That's amazing.
What do you think, huh? Are you happy?
Go up front, go up front, go up front,
Go
up front.
Up front.
No shaky shake. No. No shake. Good girl. So we always like to make Dixie swim before she gets back in the dinghy after we've been to the beach, because it just helps get the sand off. We always spray her down with fresh water when we get back to the boat, but that's kind of like the pre-rinse, if you want to call it that. It's also good to practice her swimming. That's a good girl. She's a good girl.
All right, guys, so now that we've made it back to the boat, typically we split up our duties. Emily starts to get the boat organized and cleaned up, maybe does a little vacuuming, and I start working on breakfast. And first and foremost, you coffee drinkers, you already know, we just did a video in Dominican Republic on coffee in Barbacoa, which is the mountainous town of the Dominican Republic. And that's what we're gonna start our morning with, is some Barbacoa coffee. Gracious, let me stay. So I'm actually getting ready to have a call, and one of the things that I've never told you guys is that I actually do part-time sales or online sales for a company that is in the construction realm of the world. And it actually has been a easy transition. You know, I used to manage large-scale construction projects, and coming into boat life, I had never even thought that this would be possible, but it's actually been something that's been great. I spend a couple hours a day on it, and it's really nice because it provides an additional income. Later in this video, we're going to talk about all the different ways, and let me tell you, there are so many ways in which that anyone from any industry can make money from the ocean. I tell you what, you never know what you're gonna see. There are two horses just walking down the beach, and they're literally playing with each other. They will jump down into the sand and roll around, and then next thing you know, they like run off and then run back together. It's like the dogs that were playing this morning with Dixie.
We are coming up on our 2nd year boat anniversary. So it's been 2 years since we bought the boat. We've been cruising for a year and a half, and in that year and a half, we have learned so much, like so much. And you guys have asked us a ton of questions about all of the things. And one of the main topics I feel like we get questions about all the time is boating with dogs. How does Dixie do on the boat? How did she learn to go to the bathroom? What's it like if she gets seasick? And the questions have gone on and on and on. So I've been working on a complete guide to cruising with dogs and compiling all the information and the knowledge that we have learned over the last year and a half of cruising, and I'm so excited to share that with you. We're actually working on a video, a day in the life of Dixie. It's a video we are really excited about because let's be honest, she's the real star of the show. If you want early access, you can scan this QR code here and it will take you to our checklist, everything you need to know to pack to go cruising with your dog, and we are so excited to share this episode with you, so be sure to tune in next week. Living and working on a sailboat is a constant balancing act between getting the work you need to get done and actually enjoying the life that we have set out to create. There's an island just under 2 miles away from us, so we are gonna head over there and see what there is to see. And we read on Navionics that it's a snorkel and dive spot, so my fingers are crossed we can get in the water because I am dying to do some diving. It's been a while, like a month and a half. We're with our friends Craig and Katie, who we've been traveling with the last few days, and I think we introduced them to you guys last year when we were in the Bahamas, when we were in Georgetown. And it's actually really nice traveling with friends because they get us out of our work mode. I'm the type of person that if there's work to be done, I would literally sit there at my computer, floating on my sailboat until the work is done.
The great thing about Craig and Katie is that they too work and have a job other than just living the sailing lifestyle, which is amazing. So it kind of balances each other out.
What you think? It's a pretty day, huh? Yeah, it's a nice day. I'm sorry we're gonna leave you on the boat. It's so mean. Ready? 3, 2, 1! One of the awesome things we have come to really know and love about Craig and Katie very quickly is they have all the toys. We've had a couple nights of karaokeing on their boat, all kind of games, and today is no different. They've got the portable cornhole board, so we're gonna play a quick game, we're gonna get hot and sweaty, and then we're gonna go diving, which I am so stoked for. You guys know how much I love diving, and I hope there's some fish out there because I'm also dying to spear a fish. This would be just like the perfect end of the day if we can catch our own dinner just like we did in the Bahamas and have it with our friends. Woo! Nice! Yes!
Hey, we do have a storm coming in, so I think we should probably get in the boats and head out. Yeah. We didn't get to spend very much time in the water, but as you can see behind me, there's a storm coming in, so it's time for us to get out. But it was a nice reintroduction. I had a nice couple dives.
Yeah. We'll have to go grab some meat instead of fish tonight.
That's right. Guess we're going to a restaurant.
We're out of the water and headed back to the boat, and it is going to be a choppy ride. All right, we've gotten all showered and it is thankfully cleared up and stopped raining. So we're about to run into town of Vieques and just see what all is there and grab some little appetizers, I think, with Craig and Katie.
I still run the business that Katie and I founded called Codeverse.
That's right.
Yeah, so it's a kids coding platform.
Katie, you're in background's marketing. Like, what's your thoughts on working from your boat?
So I think, well, people assume that there's a lot of distractions and you get nothing done because it just looks like fun all the time.
Yeah.
But I think there's a thing that you're missing there. There's actually a lot less distractions because you're kind of in the middle of nowhere. There's not much to do when the sun goes down. So you have all this time that's very focused where you can be productive. And then for the kind of work that I do and Katie does too, it's really helpful to be creative. And this is a hell of a lot more creative than being in a bedroom behind a laptop. So those two things, I think it ends up being far more productive living this lifestyle than working from home.
It is raining again and we are back on the boat.
Yeah, guys, I feel like we've been talking about weird weather all season, and it just gets me that much more concerned about the upcoming hurricane season and what that might actually look like. Anyways, back to the point of this video. We hope that we're conveying the message that you can truly do anything you want to do, specifically travel full-time, live on a boat or RV or whatever the case may be with the new likes of Starlink.
Yeah, Starlink is literally like bringing internet to the world, and we are not sponsored. I wish we were because we love the product, but we've now been using it for a year and a half full-time cruising, and calls, uploading videos, all the things that uses tons of data, and it's just been amazing. So I say all of that to say that you can work remotely. Like, don't let the thought of internet access slow you down because there's a solution for that.
Or don't be like me and thinking, I come from the construction background, right? I was on a job site Monday through Friday and most of the time on Saturdays. And I never thought about working remote in construction. But quite frankly, there's so many ways I could have done that now looking back on it. So we're gonna help you guys think outside the box a little bit from the start. And we've put together a list of 20 jobs where you could work remote, live this lifestyle, whether it's on a boat or on an RV or traveling abroad, whatever the case may be. But we put together this list that we want to share with you guys.
Yeah, so you can scan that QR here. I'll pop the link in the description for you as well, and you can get that guide, and definitely leave us some feedback. Let us know what you think. We're excited to hear about it. And as always, we appreciate all of you guys who watch week after week. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you found it insightful. And of course, we'll see you next week.
Remember, you got one life to live.